You know what the crazy thing is? All of the things that say Israel and Alex have, you have as well. They don't have anything that's particularly special about them. The only thing that they've done that you haven't is that they've established a very, very clear vision in their mind. And they've said, yes, I want to achieve this. And they've come up with a game plan with how they consistently can do that, not just for days, months, but for years. And that last little bit when we're in the sauna, there's something that happens with Israel. Something that happens in his eyes, and he becomes this different person. Every single time he looks up, he's coming out. This guy's coming out. Whatever he's going through, it grows. It's like this physical change, and he starts talking in his native language, and the music he plays is different. He's gone from being this person that has just done this fight camp and is cutting weight into he is the last style bender, and he's got to fight for this world championship.
Gypsy.
And there's been, you'd be able to attest to this, like so many times you'd go for a run that you didn't feel like it, or you didn't feel good, or you felt a certain type of way, and it was an amazing run. There's so many times I've gone to the gym where I didn't feel like doing jiu-jitsu, and I ended up training great, or submitted a person I'd never submitted before, or like had a brilliant session. Or there's been rides where it's like, oh fuck, I've done 2 motos, like I can just get out of here, the track sucks, I'm fucking over it. And then you go out and you do your best lap time of the, you know, so the correlation, or like breaking the connection between what you feel and what you want. And I think that that's something that, like, at least for me at the moment, I'm just like, fuck what you feel, I don't care. Like, I'm doing this for that guy, not for this guy.
Yeah, definitely, because what you want to be there is way more important than where you are now, right? And there's something I've always been saying. I'm saying it a lot lately, and I say it to our athletes, especially when it comes to getting up in the morning, going to their training or doing whatever, or sticking to the diet. And it's the consequence of not doing it is far worse than the consequence of doing it.
Yeah.
So much worse, because never, ever, ever do you talk to someone who has just gone and done 10 hard rounds rolling, or they've just run a 10K, and afterwards they go,
I wish I didn't do that.
I feel like crap. That was really, you know what? Let's go back in time. I wish I didn't. Never. Not once. Or even, hey, you go out and you eat a really good meal, really healthy meal. You get all the veggies and green stuff, and then get a good lean protein in. You have a little bit of carbs. You get a juice and like lots of good veggies. Never once does someone after that go, yeah, you know what? I wanted to go get the burrito instead. The big greasy burrito. Never once. It's like the consequence of not doing it is so much worse than the consequence of doing it. And it's just, again, you got left and right. And that's what I've noticed with all these guys, is like they just always choose the hard right over the easy left every single time. Yeah,
it's a good point. And then I think that there's a thing about habits where, you know, you want to turn like disciplined. Like there's a short period of time where you have to have discipline. And then you have discipline for long enough, and then it turns into a habit. And then a real habit, you just take the hands off the wheel. And I think that that's the biggest transition that people need to make. And that's like the hardest thing that everybody needs to make, is like that, from going from just raw discipline to like having to, you know, run when you first start running, your legs hurt like shit after it, you know? And then it's like, you think that pain is going to last forever. You think that that's what post running feels like, no matter what. And you won't push through that barrier to make it the habit. And then you don't get to the point where like your legs don't really hurt that much after a run, and you can run the next day and you can kind of back it up. But I think it's that time that you need to put to go from discipline to habit, because once it's a habit, you can kind of just take your hands off the wheel, and then it just becomes like a part of who you are, what you do. Like, we make these default choices all the time. Like, I brush my teeth twice a day, every fucking day. I floss my teeth twice a day, that's not a choice on that. There's no discipline in that. That's just straight up habitual. And I think that it's like understanding the connection between how much discipline it takes for how long, and then when it moves into like that habitual stage.
That's a good example, because I always use that. I always use that with our clients, because when you're talking about behavior change with health, right? Like, and again, if you go back to the office worker or whoever it is that just wants to be that high performing person. They want to get the most sales. They want to make the most commission. They want to just be the person in the office everyone is looking at going, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
It's habit change and behavior change. And that's really, really hard. And I always say to them, you need to do it so much, so often that it becomes to a point where, you know, that feeling when you go to bed without brushing your teeth, and you just feel gross, and it's like, I've got hair on my teeth, and you feel uncomfortable, and you're like, I don't like this feeling of not doing that. And it's not because I don't think you would enjoy brushing your teeth. I don't. I dread brushing my teeth. I don't know why. I just don't like it, but I'll do it twice a day, every single day at the exact same time.
That's what you do.
And it's because I've been doing it every day since I was like, 18 months old, 2 years, however long it is when you can start brushing your teeth or whatever. You've done that for 25, 30, 35, 40 years, however old you are. And I always say to people when they're looking at, okay, I want to change my health. I want to get better at hydrating. I want to get better at dieting. I want to get up every single morning and run. Yeah, that's cool, man, but you've got to do that for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You need to really early establish that goalpost with people because you need to prep them. Like you said, there's going to be this period where you're just going to have to grind it out. There's no habit there. It's pure grit and determination every single morning. And that's going to be a way longer process. That's not an 8-week gym challenge. It's not a 12-week gym challenge. It's not a 6-month thing. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 years of you rocking up every day and doing the same thing. Then that's going to become a habit. It's going to be a habit to the point where you feel uncomfortable doing it. And you might be getting to that point where you're running. If I get up and I sleep in and I don't train or I don't get up, I don't do something with my body, I hate that feeling. I can't. It's the same as when I brush my teeth. I just can't. I can't fathom it. My mind can't comprehend that feeling. Same with the business. There's certain things I need to do when I wake up, check emails, talk to this person, have a meeting with my team, make sure everyone's checked in on. If I don't do those things because you've been doing them every single day for years and years and years, it's an uncomfortable thing. It goes completely against your whole identity of who you are. And people forget that when it comes to your health. When it comes to just simply drinking more water, eating better foods, getting up and moving your body, stretching, self-regulating, putting away time to learn to breathe properly. They're not just things that you can just look at your watch and be like, oh, it's going to happen. This is going to make it happen. I put a Whoop on, it's going to give me all this info. Yeah, that's awesome info. You still have to do that every single day for years and years and years on end, to the point where it feels very, very uncomfortable when you don't do it. Where the consequence of not doing it is so much worse than the consequence of doing it. And I've found we have had so much success just framing that with people. When they come in and like, man, hey, I want to lose all this weight on this diet. And you go, it's cool, man. I can rip a lot of weight off you really fast. I'm probably one of the best in the world at getting people really skinny really fast, but you're going to put it all back on unless you commit to this thing over the next 2-3 years. Whether you do that 2-3 years with me, I don't really care. I'll give you the foundations of it. But when you go off, you need to know you got to commit 2-3 years. And I think it's crazy in today's world when we got all this access to everything and it's so fast, right? Like you can get anything on your phone instantly, like instant gratification. People struggle with that idea. They struggle with it. They struggle with the idea. You're telling me I need to be on a diet for 5 years before this starts working? It's like, yeah, in one sense or another, you're going to have to be on a type of a diet for 5 years.
But the type of diet is just like,
that's going to change over time. And you're going to build better habits and understand what's in food and what you can, and you'll get way more intuitive with it and you'll become better at it. But ultimately, that whole concept, you're going to have to stick to it for 5 years. Because at the end of the day, you don't see too many 5-year-olds kick up a stink when they don't brush their teeth before bed. It's not until they get in their 20s or 25, 30s when they start going, oh man, my mouth feels gross. I do not want to go to bed without this. Like there's no way I'm going to bed with gargle breath before I go next to my missus or whatever. It takes so long and people forget that. And that's one thing from hanging out with very, very successful people, successful business people, CEOs, athletes, whoever it is, successful landscapers, whoever it is, they just all put in this time and they like universally agree to this concept that this takes minimum 5, 10, 15 years. And I think in like today's world, it's one of the first biggest barriers I have to get over with someone when we onboard a new client and they see all these things. Oh, you guys work with all these top level guys, all these very successful. I want to be like that. I want you to give me the tools to fuel my body so I can go do these things. And go, yeah, we can do that. We can absolutely do that. It's going to take 5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to take minimum 3 years before you even start to figure out what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck, man? Like, I'm paying you for an 8-week program. It's like, yeah, like, I'll give you these tools, and whether you do that 5 years with me or with someone else, or like a journey with yourself or whatever, it's going to take 5 years. And it's a very tough thing for a lot of people to take in.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com. packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.